You know, the one emotion that I'm really familiar with is anxiety. You know, the feeling of seeing your world get crushed in front of you and not being able to do anything about it. That's what it feels like, right? I'm not gonna give you any specific examples because you can probably relate. You know, this terrible feeling that something horrible that has happened to you or will happen to you, and you just can't seem to find the answer as to why that happened. I find it hard to focus on anything else when that happens. You know, the back of my skull, it goes cold, it goes numb, my hands start sweating. It's a horrible feeling overall. And it's like I can't move on until I've found the answer to that thing, until that problem has been solved by me. It is those moments that I hate the most. And you know, having OCD doesn't help with it the slightest. It just makes it worse. It takes the smallest thoughts, insignificant thoughts, which you know are insignificant, but then your brain doesn't allow you to move on into better things. And then you obsess over them and then you give in to them and it just gets worse. Listen, I'm not here to cope or anything. I'm not saying, oh yeah, I'm doomed to be controlled by these emotions. Now, I've definitely gained like a significant amount of control over these. And I know the solution to them and I'm working towards them. But if there's one thing, and this video is gonna be more of me just venting to you, by the way, bro. But if there's one thing that I found that helps with anxiety so much, and then the next time something bad happens to you, it doesn't feel that bad, is this ayah from the Quran, from Surah Yunus. يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في صدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. O humanity, indeed there has come to you a warning from your Lord, a cure for what is in the hearts, a guidance and a mercy for the believers. And what does Allah mean by a cure for what's in the hearts? What is in the heart? What's in my heart except for anxiety, sadness, depression, frustration, guilt, jealousy? I could go on and on forever, bro. How's the Quran a cure for this? Because Allah said the cure is the Quran, so it surely is. You know, you might not see your heart disease getting cured all of a sudden as soon as you start reading the Quran, maybe a couple of days in, maybe a couple of weeks, or maybe months in, right? But eventually there will be a cure for it. You know, that may be in the form of your heart finding peace, moving on, finding something better, and then eventually going on, being grateful for what happened and realizing, wait, this is why it happened, and it's best for me. It's either that or you find the solution to the problem anyways. You know, in my life, there are instances like vivid experiences that I could tell you, like I was so anxious in those days. I was thinking, wait, why is this happening? What could I do? Did I mess up again? Am I doomed for failure? Like all of these thoughts over a specific thing multiple times. And then a couple of weeks later, I start to realize, wait, I made so much progress in self-improvement because of this one anxiety-inducing thing motivating me, that without this thing in my life, I wouldn't have made this progress, like 3x progress. I'm talking in a few months. And then I start to be grateful for, like, yo, thank God, man. If this didn't happen, I would still be lost. I would still be in a bad place in life. But this just took me from one level to the next in terms of self-improvement. Like it drastically improved my life. This area of my life, I found so much growth in because of this just one anxiety-inducing thing. Like the net gain is significant. I don't know how it happens, man, but just trust Allah. That's my message to you in this video. You know, Aisha radiallahu anha was asked, what was the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him, like? And you know what her answer was? It was the Quran. The embodiment of the Quran was his life. Listen, bro, how can you apply the Quran in your life? How can you use the Quran as a cure? Because Allah literally said that it is the cure for your heart. There's no other way about it then, bro. It is. So how do you use it as that? You must simply read it every single day. You know what? Don't say, okay, after a couple months, I'm going to binge read Quran for a few hours and then not read it for another 2 weeks. Listen, you're supposed to do it every single day. Make it part of your routine, just like eating, sleeping, and whatever else you do, right? That's consistently part of your daily routine. Because the whole purpose of the Quran and the way you use it as a cure is you take teachings from the tafsir, from the meaning, and you must learn the meaning. You know, stop coping. Just reading and listening is not enough. You must learn the meaning. Because trust me, open Tafsir ibn Kathir, right? Go to Quran.com, that's where I learned from. Open Tafsir ibn Kathir. It's simple, it's abridged, which means it's summarized, and you get teachings from every single surah, multiple life lessons that you can apply. There's not a single surah that goes by and you say, wait, there's not a life lesson that I could use right now to improve my life drastically. That's how you use the Quran as cure for your heart. Hey bro, here's the actionable step for this video. If you want the Quran to start curing your heart ASAP, from today, then do this today. Start to beautify your voice, or at least try to. You know, most people recite the Quran as if they're being forced to do it. You know, with no tajweed, reciting it in a monotone. Change that. Learn the tajweed. Learn how to pronounce the words properly. And then find a qari that has a similar voice tone to you and then just copy him. Do this, bro. Trust me, do this. Start getting connected to the Quran and just watch how your life changes, man. Do this today. Take care. It's doing a bit every single day, just making it part of your daily life. It's not just some ritual that you have to perform to just guarantee that you're at peace. This is like the manual, the code for life. You know, never will I ever lose hope in Allah, inshallah. Because, you know, think about it. If I have a problem, then who else has a solution for it except Allah? I have a problem and Allah has a solution. I'm not doomed to be anxious. I'm not doomed to be miserable. I'm a Muslim, so obviously I'm supposed to be happy. And so are you. You know, this is just a test from Allah. You know how? Because He wants to test whether when faced with adversity, something bad happening in your life, whether you take the right path and stay close to Him, or you just wander off and go into a completely different trajectory. You start using drugs to overcome anxiety. You start listening to music to overcome depression. You do all of the bad things instead of the right things. This is a test. Everything that happens for a reason. You know that, right? I will keep trying my best, bro. Like, listen, there's only one thing that I have control on, and that is my actions. So that is essential. I must keep trying my best. You know, just stay focused on the task at hand, stick to the plan that you made, and just trust Allah. You know what? You must also stay away from haram. That is also essential. Because the more you indulge in haram, the more your contentment and peace of heart is taken away. It just darkens your heart. You get dark spots in your heart, which means you get anxious, you get depressed, and all of this stuff, right? But the thing is, a lot of people say, oh, staying away from haram is as equally important as doing good things. But unfortunately, most of the guys nowadays, right, they're so tight in the grasp of addiction and everything that they can't find themselves getting away from evil, no matter how hard they try. So for your case, and in my case as well, what we must do is come closer to good, because the fitna around us is too strong. This is not the times of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or the Khulafa Rashidin. Bro, you're supposed to do more good, come more towards good, come more towards the Quran, just like this ayah says, because that's the cure for your heart. And the evil will automatically start to leave your back. If you can do that, then why would Allah not solve your problems for you? You know, one last thing, right? If you feel like things are getting out of hand, they're getting out of control, like you have no control over them, it just keeps getting worse, no matter how much you try. If you think about it, right, with an open mind, this is perhaps a sign from Allah that He wants you to focus on things that are in your control. He's saying to you, listen, you're so focused and distressed about this one thing, but I'm going to show you that this thing is only in my control. You're becoming more and more focused on this one niche of thing that is not under your control, whereas you're neglecting the things that are. What is in your control is how sinful you are. What do you do on a daily basis? You listen to a lot of music. You hurt the feelings of others. You think evil thoughts and try not to gain control of them for the sake of Allah. If you do all of that stuff, bro, then you're focusing on the wrong thing. This is a blessing in disguise if you think about it with an open mind, because now instead of focusing and wasting your energy resources on things that are not in your control, now you're more focused on things that are like holistic self-improvement, improving everything else in your life. Once you do that, you start to realize, wait, that one thing that I was focused on probably wasn't best for me anyways. And a lot of the cases, when you focus on the right things, that thing falls into place as well. You know, this is common sense, but unfortunately our brains are corrupted. I don't know for whatever reason, but it is what it is. Like, this is what it is. So just focus on the right things, man. Stay away from thinking about things that are not in your control. Like, you do all the bad things, and then a couple days later, you wonder why you have crippling anxiety and depression. You know, at the end of the day, it all comes down to you just trying, because you trying is all that matters in the eyes of Allah. Listen, you must actively strive against sin. You must say, no, Allah is watching me. I can't listen to music. Allah is watching me. I can't miss my salah. Allah is watching me. I can't think evil thoughts. This has allowed me to go from being addicted to music, listening to it 24/7, to now listening to Quran 80% of the time. And that 20% of music, I'm trying to get rid of that anyways now. But it's so much easier when you say, Allah is watching me. Just simply say it out loud. Strive to learn the Quran and apply it in your own life. And just watch how Allah takes care of your anxiety and whatever issues you have. Listen, Allah will find a way for you, bro. That's what happens every single time. Just focus on things that are in your control, and that is being a good Muslim. And so at the end of the day, bro, if you just take care of your iman, Allah will take care of you. It's as simple as that. Ma'asalam.